Yo, what's up YouTube? Today I'm gonna share a strat with which you can farm a lot of fractured items, like around 300, 400 fractured items per map. As you can see in the background, I'm showing my stashes, my stash tabs, selling the fractures. Almost every single item you're looking at is fractured. Um, Quite a lot of valuable things in these tabs. For example, the 86 fractures. Yes, you can farm item level 86 fractures now. And how it works is pretty simple, to be honest. We are using the new Horn Scarab of the Awakening in combination with the all beloved All Flame Embers of Anarchy. And what the Horn Scarab of Awakening does is it allows you to select enhanced map crafting options, like these imbued options, right? And the imbued anarchy option, the sentence on the bottom reads, items dropped by rogue exiles in area have a 20% chance to be fractured. So this line is pretty insane because it counts for every single item that gets dropped. Like every single item has a 20% chance to drop as a fracture. Which means with around like 20, 30 rogue exiles, probably more, it's pretty hard to keep track, you get quite a lot of items. Now, the second most important part of this strat is this All Flame Ember of Anarchy. And if you notice it, it reads monster level 84. And this is a very, very important part. The monsters that you encounter in a map, in a T16 map, are monster level 83, which means monsters can drop item levels up to 2+ levels, which means they drop 85 bases, right? So this 84 All Flame allows us to force monster level 84 monsters on our map in a tier 16 map. You could just do it in a T17 map as well. This is completely possible too. But T17 maps are a lot harder and it takes a lot more time. And also you need your portals. Like you have to play kind of safe to not waste any portals, because you get out with quite a lot of loot and the loot takes up quite a lot of space. So in my case, my build is currently, I've invested about 100 divines, maybe more, not really sure, and I'm gonna be honest, it's still pretty bad, at least the tankiness part. Like yeah, I'm about to reroll, but anyway, the problem is you really need a build that can run rolled maps. Like I'm using 8 modded maps with quality on them, although it's, you don't have to do this. You can just chisel and alk them. It's completely fine. But yeah, this strat is pretty hard anyway, but you can scale it, right? Like you don't need to start with monster level 84. You can start with 83 as well and get a couple 85 and 84 fractures. They sell quite well too. Although now that the league mechanic got buffed, the prices for fractures dropped pretty significantly, which is kind of obvious. But you still have to pay quite a lot of money to get the fractures, right? And there's a couple fractures that are pretty hard to hit. For example, let me see if I can find one. For example, spell suppression is pretty hard to hit as a fracture. And if you want to get, let's see, do I not have any 86? Yeah, there it is. Like this is pretty hard to hit with the new league mechanic, with the graveyard crafting. So there's still quite a lot of value in there. And also, even if you want to, if you can hit, like, I don't know, let's say crit chance on a bow, the thing is you still have to pay quite a lot for the corpses, right? So the fractures still have value, although a lot worse than it was like 2 days ago. Like I started this a couple days ago, and I've already sold a couple fractures, of course, although I couldn't really do it on T70s because, yeah, it was just too hard. And then they introduced the Anarchy, All Flames, and then everybody was fishing for Divine maps. And well, now I'm basically back to this. I did this yesterday a little bit, got a couple fractures again, and now I'm about to show you how it works. The Atlas is this one. I'm also gonna post it in the description down below, so you don't have to screenshot this or anything. But I'm gonna briefly explain the nodes that I picked. The most important nodes are, of course, the Rogue Exile nodes, so that your Rogue Exiles are possessed by tormented spirits. And we are further increasing the quant that the tormented spirits give to the Rogue Exiles or to our mobs. Also all the other Rogue Exile nodes, the map bosses node and the wild Rogue Exile nodes are not that important. It's just there because you get them easily for these small nodes that are pretty good. So yeah, you just take them. The second point is the scarab nodes. I've taken almost all scarab nodes that are usable in our strat, even the rare monsters one, because we're pathing next to it anyway, for the 4%, and you get a couple rare monsters, so why not take it? Less common varieties, of course, and the more important scarab node is the significant trophies one, with the unique monsters in your maps have 200% increased chance to drop scarabs. Now, since Rogue Exiles are unique, you get quite a lot of scarabs. Like almost every single Rogue Exile is gonna drop one. As you can see in my scarab tab, I've looted quite a lot of scarabs in these maps. Yeah. Okay, so scarab nodes, tormented nodes, Rogue Exile nodes. Next thing are the map effect nodes. Map effect, in my opinion, is the most broken node on the entire Atlas this league. Like with Wandering Path, I think it was 60%. 60% that you could reach if you spec'd fully into all map effect nodes and taken Wandering Path, etc. So that's 60%. Right now, I am at 58% flat. I'm also getting 3% increased effect per map quality, which means 20% map quality, 12% increased effect, putting us to 70%, and then another 2% per map modifier. And since I'm running 8 modded maps, that's another 16% map increased effect, getting me to 86% map effect. And you could potentially use these two small nodes that I haven't allocated, getting you to 90% overall if you wanted to. Pretty broken in my opinion, especially because now that we can roll our T17 maps, they have 170% quant around that mark. This is gonna lead to some pretty disgusting loot bombs that you're gonna drop in T17 maps once people start using their league mechanics inside them, and once people can actually clear them, because that's right now I don't think anyone can actually do it. Like there's a couple people who can of course farm T17s, and yes, if you've made a couple mirrors already, then you probably can, but there's only a handful of people who can actually juice T17 maps, and the money in this league is inside T17s. Anyway, these map effect nodes scale with the 170% increased effect, bringing you to what, 300 something percent quant on your map as map quant. Absolutely disgusting. I don't think we'll ever see something like that again, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna get nerfed because, yeah, I'm pretty sure people are gonna buff and loot this league. I know most people think it's not really rewarding, but especially since the buffs to the League mechanic, I think this might come very, very close to Affliction. Maybe not in the sense of like fun dopamine rushes, like dropping stacks of divines every map, but it's still pretty disgusting with the amount of loot we can get. Also, the Necropolis skill points on the skill tree. We have put points into the all flame ones. 1 second. We've put points into the all flame ones because if you're using an 84 all flame, the mobs will drop 84 all flames as well, so you can sustain a little bit, not much, I'm not gonna lie, like it's very, very, very small, but you can get a couple 84 all flames, which is pretty neat. Devoted modifiers, just to get a couple better modifiers. Increased effect of fountain modifiers, so we get more all flames. And I've skilled into the corpses. You don't have to do this. This is pretty optional, but this synergizes with the all flame node in the top left. That gives us a 50% chance to spawn a tormented spirit when you collect a corpse. Now, the tormented spirit, when you collect a corpse, usually can't find anything to possess, but that really doesn't matter for us because a tormented spirit is unique as well, which means it scales with our unique scarab drops. Right? So we get another scarab most likely. It's okay, it's optional, don't have to take this. Eta quant gives map quant, so that's pretty nice, and it also can give you scarab duplication, which is yeah, pretty insane. I think I've explained everything. Oh no, I forgot 2 things. These ambush nodes are not a mistake. Like these 3 points into ambush are pretty nice because you can min-max your devoted modifiers or rather your all flames with these. These ambush nodes give your strongbox in every single map, and you can roll, if you don't take the corrupted node here, you can roll your strongbox for a special mod which reads something like revives enemies in area with onslaught. So basically you pull the rogue exiles, or for example frogs, if you get a divine modifier on your map, you pull them towards strongboxes as much as you can, and then you're gonna kill them, and once you've cleared your maps, you're gonna try to roll your strongbox for the mod and then revive the mobs and get the loot again. For example, when I was doing the divine fishing strat, I had a map in which I dropped 64 divines when I cleared it, and then I revived all the frogs around my strongboxes. I think I had 5 strongboxes on that map, and I got another 29 divines extra on top of these 64. So yeah, pretty disgusting. Also works with rogue exiles. Sometimes rogue exiles spawn inside your strongbox, so you get a couple more fractures. This somehow works. Don't ask me why, but it works. Yeah. And then the second part is Ritual, which Scissoran showed yesterday on his stream, which in my opinion is pretty genius. Usually if you spawn monsters within your Ritual, again, they aren't gonna drop loot, but with the Scarab, unfortunately I don't have one right now anymore, but with the Scarab that lets you drop 1 additional unique item from a unique monster, that works with Ritual. So how it works is you get Ritual on your map, you're gonna kill a couple rogue exiles inside your Ritual, then you're gonna respawn them via Ritual, and then you're gonna use the Ritual vessel on your Ritual, and you're gonna get a couple rogue exiles inside your Ritual vessel, which then you could use instead of an either Anarchy Scarab, instead of an Anarchy Scarab or the additional unique Scarab, and then you could use this inside the Ritual. Use the additional unique one because that synergizes with Ritual, of course. Yeah, but you could potentially skip out on the 4 rogue exiles and then just use Ritual as another source of getting rogue exiles. You're gonna put the imbued anarchy one on there, check that we use the right tree, we use the right scarabs, and then we can start our map. Let's see what mods we get. This is pretty bad. Also, one thing that I haven't seen explain anyone, it's pretty important where you put your Oriflammes. Like when the Divine Fishing strat was published, people did it wrong. Like, you're not gonna use your Oriflammes anywhere just because there's a plus. You're not gonna use your, let's say I had a divine one, I would never use it on this one even though it has a plus. And the reason is pack density is the most important stat on this, and the pack density increases with the from bottom to top, right? So the highest one has high and the lowest one has very low. Although this is random, you can get only normal as well, for example. And you don't have any high ones, but you're only gonna use your Oriflammes on the pack density high mobs. This is the most important part about this strategy. Like the pack density doesn't really mean what it says it does. Like, at least in my opinion, pack density means you get more mobs inside one pack, but that's not what it means. Pack density in this case means the amount of packs that you get on your map, like the amount of packs in general. So if I, for example, if I put my Oriflamme Ember in here, it changes from what was it, from 8 to 17 to 5 to 11 monsters. Pack is composed of rogue exiles and the pack density is high. That means we get packs of 5 to 11 rogue exiles, and we get a high density, which means we get a lot more of those packs. That's how you get a lot of divines if you get the modifier for it, and that's also how you use your Oriflammes in general. Like, for every single strat, you're not gonna use your Oriflamme on a very low one. The decrease in juice is so significant. Like, I'm getting 3 times or 4 or 5 times the loot I get if I put it on a high one instead of a very low one. Most important part. The second most important part is look for your modifiers, like golden modifiers, of course, although there's only like 2 or 3 golden modifiers that you're really interested in, like the divine drops and conversions, maybe scarabs, maybe maps. That's basically it. But the negative modifiers also increase the drop chances of your corpses and your embers. And embers and corpses are pretty costly, which means this is actually pretty nice. So if your build can handle it, that's a very big if. For example, 300% increased max life. If I put it on the rogue exiles, they have 3 times their life. Like, it's could be pretty hard. Which means I'm just gonna leave it like this for testing purposes because I don't want to die too much, and this strat is hard and my build is shit. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it like this. The third most important thing are these pluses, but only if they are on a high density one. Like, or pluses or minuses for pack size. Like, modifier level only increases the mod here. Doesn't really do anything for us. You don't care about this. What you care about is the 50% more pack size. If the top thing, or this one, because it says pack density high as well, or this one, if one of these 3 had the plus, I would put the Oriflamme Embers on that one, just because I get a lot more rogue exiles. As you can see, it changes from I think 5 to 11 to 8 to 17, a pretty significant increase. But yeah, as I said, the pack density is more important and you have to prioritize that. Anyway, everything else is fine, so I'm just gonna put it in, enter. Also, by the way, don't forget to get a lot of ID scrolls, because you're gonna ID quite a lot of mobs in these maps. Oh yeah, I should probably turn on my automat. Yep, and that's the first step. I'm gonna try to play a little bit more slowly, just to not waste portals, and I'm gonna skip the content. Like, I'm gonna speed it up while doing this. I am gonna try to show a couple of cool fractures if I drop any, but I think I will. So I'm gonna try to keep the better fractures and yeah, show them to you later. Also, one thing to note, while you're watching, I am using a very, very, very heavily modified item filter. What is on this map? The fractures that you see here are only T1 fractures. Like for example spine balls, like the best basis of the item level. And as you can see, 86, 86, 86, 86, 86, 86. We drop a couple of 85s as well. Let's see if I find one. Where was it? And these drop from the normal rogue exiles, right? So these are all the all flame rogue exiles, as you can see. I can't find an 85. Anyway, doesn't really matter. As you can see, and what I usually recommend if you do this strat, because you're gonna most likely die a lot in these maps, make sure to loot as soon as you can and start identifying, because as I said, you're gonna get out with quite a lot of loot and it takes a lot of space here. Potentially this is a full inventory, one mob. Potentially, of course you're not gonna loot a full inventory of valuable fractures. There's a horn scarab drop, as you can see, so these drop here in quite a good amount as well. Because I think they scale with the quant and rarity, but I'm not entirely sure, so yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, I'm gonna try to skip ahead now and yeah, speed this content up for you.
A few moments later.
Well, all 6 portals are gone. Yeah, it's not an easy strat. But yeah, as I said earlier, my build just sucks, so at least the defenses are just bad. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, these are the fractures that I found in this map that I felt like picking up and taking with me. The fractures on the right are from the map earlier, so discount them. We got a notable one with plus level of all chaos on an omen wand, which is pretty nice, but sadly it's chaos and not all skill games. Chaos is pretty easy to force. So yeah, not really worth much, but still one divine. Got another crit multi, T1 crit multi one. Should be a couple chaos, maybe more, not sure. T4 Fizz X, couple 86 bases. There's an 86 boots with suppression base, T2 suppression, which is around one divine as well. Let's see. We have a helmet. For helmets, the item level 86 doesn't matter, so don't take it. It's not worth the pay up. So people most likely won't pay, but it's still 1.5 divine. Yeah, let's see, couple 86 bases with T1 fractures like res, evasion rating, dex. Those aren't really on the market, so it's hard to say how much, but I'm probably gonna put them in for like 1 or 2 divine, maybe 3, and see if they sell. As you maybe saw earlier, I sold a couple fractures while I was doing my thing. As I said, spell suppression, right? But yeah, even if we take all these items out, this is the loot that we got from the map itself. Which is still pretty neat, like scarabs. Look at scarabs, how many scarabs we dropped. Like, that's pretty nice. Also a couple rare or more rare scarabs, as you can see, even a horn scarab. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I would have to price check this, and I'll probably add it in later how much this is. But I have to wait until the until it picks up all these items, right? Okay, so we got a couple fractures. Let's discount them for now, even though that's quite a lot, and I'm pretty sure I can sell at least 2 or 3 of those for divine, maybe more. So even if we discount this, this is still quite a lot of currency we made. Yeah, which is pretty fun, I'd say. You can also luck into a nice unique, as I said earlier, with the scarab that lets you drop more uniques. Sadly, I don't have one left anymore. But yeah, that's basically the strat. I can't really say how much profit you're gonna make. It's very dependent on the fractures that you're actually gonna get and how many you're actually gonna sell. This is nice, but it's not insane for one map, even though there's quite a lot of scarabs, but it's not for the amount of currency we've put into the map. Like, remember the 84 all flames? I think I bought them for 1 divine each. Yeah, it's 1 divine. And the map itself is like, I don't know, 10-20 chaos or something, plus the other scarabs, another divine. So you're basically at a map cost of 2 divines. And yeah, this might be 2 divines, I'm not sure. But yeah, you are gonna make profit, especially once you start to sell fractures. But as I said, it's like, this is not as good strat to tell you how much currency you're gonna make per hour, because it's highly dependent on the fracture that you're actually gonna roll. You could potentially make 100 divines an hour. You can potentially lose out on money if you are unlucky. So yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, I don't think I've missed anything. If I did, I'm most likely gonna edit it in later. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you drop some good fractures. See you next time. Bye!